Farmer Dre back at us on a beautiful day here on the farm. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and smash that like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, hit that notification icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload a video. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys along with me here, and we're gonna go ahead and fertilize tomatoes in high tunnel number 1. Before I do that, I'm gonna have to go grab the hoses. So since we do have so many tunnels here on the farm, I've been procrastinating about buying any 6-foot hoses. So we have these 6-foot hoses here that I use from the hydrant to the dosatron here. We call it the medicator, but dosatron that goes to the main water here. But these are the baby tomatoes here, and I just feed them a small dosage of fertilizer every single time I water them. But these tomatoes, they were seeded, I don't remember when, but they're growing. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful growing. These will be ready in 3 weeks or so to be planted out in the field, or high tunnels. Out in the high tunnels, not out in the field. So the goal with these is to have them ready by the 1st week of April. Go ahead and undo this hose here, because I mean, they're like $5 at Lowe's. I gotta go buy some more. But you know how it is, life of a farmer. Forget to do a lot of stuff. You know, I gotta buy like 5 or 6 of these. Well, I need 2 in every tunnel, so I need 8 total. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there, and then I'm also gonna have to grab the one from the strawberries as well. So I ran some irrigation on the strawberries this morning, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill up this barrel full of water. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill up this barrel. I'll explain this when I get back. So I'm gonna go ahead and, it's a 55-gallon drum of water. I'll explain that whenever I'll get back. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the tomatoes here. These are the big Dinas here, and look how nicely they've been growing. They were about yay tall when we planted them 2 weeks ago, so they've grown that much. And for the 1st week, you don't see much growth just because they're trying to put on, you know, get that root system developed. But now we got a bunch of flowers on them, and they're growing. So look at these trusses of flowers here. So nice and beautiful. Another thing I want to show you guys here is look at these Carolina Golds. Look how many, 1, 2, 3, 4 flower clusters open on these plants. I gotta come through here and stake these just because they've been growing super fast, but I haven't got around to it. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I might just do that tomorrow. But we've been running propane in the wood stove with that, so yeah, they've been growing nicely. Another thing that spring is here, I've been running irrigation and fertilizing these tunnels here almost daily. So these are the strawberries in here. Look at these Roccos. So these Roccos here, their plants are 15 days earlier than the Chandlers. Look how many buds and flowers are open there. So put 30-something days on the calendar, more like 28 days, and we'll have some fresh strawberries in here. I feel like every single time I make a tomato video or something talking about the tunnels, I always show you guys the strawberries just because it's so exciting in here. It's super exciting. But anyways, taking off this hose here off my Farmer Dre DIY irrigation manifold here, and then we'll figure it out. This hose here, like I said, it's a pain to do this when you don't have enough. I mean, I need to go by Lowe's and buy some more of these. It's not too bad, but anyway. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this barrel fill up here. But this fertilizer that we are going to use here, and the program we are using, it is from the actual master blend program. So I used it last year in this tunnel, and I mean, you guys saw the phenomenal work it did. And you know, last year I only talked about just the fertilizer itself that we used, but the main source of fertilizer that we use in here there's 3 different kinds. We use magnesium sulfate, we use master blends tomato formula, which is a 4-18-38, and then we use a calcium nitrate, and then we put on the amount of the ounces exactly. I'll explain that when we get in our chemical trailer there every single day. So I go ahead and put on a 55-gallon drum of water on every single day, and then I let the irrigation run for about 5 minutes or so. Just kind of flush the lines through here, and you can see the growth and the amazing stuff that are happening in here. And one thing I gotta mention here, I learned this on my own skin here. So you could have the best fertilizers in the world, you could have the best thing in the world irrigation wise, but if you don't have plenty of temperature, or if your temperature in the actual greenhouse or high tunnel doesn't qualify for tomatoes, then it's kind of pointless for irrigating and fertilizing as much. So our night temperature in here is 62 degrees. So we do not allow the temperature to drop below 62. And on colder night, it fluctuates a couple degrees. I mean, it gets down to 60 sometimes, but by the time this heater kicks on here, but our main goal is 62 degrees. It does not drop below that. And this is something I learned here on my own skin. So you allow your tomatoes to drop below 42 degrees for every degree. For every night that it is below 42 degrees, you lose a week worth of harvest. And what I mean by that, so let's say one night something happens, it doesn't freeze in here, but it does get below 42. So let's say it gets down to 35 degrees. The tomato plants won't die, but for that one night that it got below 42 degrees, I'm losing a week worth of harvest. So let's say it takes me 8 weeks from bloom to harvesting the fruit. If it gets one night below 42 degrees, it's gonna take me 9 weeks. If it gets 2 nights, 10 weeks. So that's why it's important. And before we talk about the fertilizers, is make sure your tomatoes have plenty of heat. And this fertilizer system works really well in the summer. But if you're like us and it's mid-March and our tomatoes are blooming like crazy, which is not very common here in Southwest Missouri, and you don't have the heat, then it's kind of pointless to try to start tomatoes early if you're not able to heat it above that 42 degrees. And at 42 degrees, your plants ain't gonna grow much. And I'm gonna just be honest with you guys, it ain't gonna do much. It's gotta be at least in the 50s and 60s for the plants to completely finish their Calvin cycle and to storage all those carbohydrates and everything that it does, I mean the plant does, at night. So we keep it around 65 degrees or 62 degrees in here. And you know, I tell people at 65 is ideal. You know, 65 to 72 degrees. If you keep that constant for tomatoes, you are in best shape. Alrighty, so this is where all of the magic happens. This is our chemical trailer and our storage container, but don't look at the mess in there. But this is where I keep all my chemicals and stuff for the orchard and whatnot. But anyways, I got 2 different buckets here, and one of them is going to be for the fertilizer, and this is just their master blend formula for tomatoes. I took out that paper and showed someone. I can't see if I can find it in here real quick. Anyways, I can't seem to be finding the paper, but this is a master blend, the tomato formula. So let's see if there's one on the bottom there. No, it's just master blend, doesn't say much. So this is a tomato formula. So it is a 4-18-38, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the amount of ounces, and I'm gonna show you guys this calcium nitrate and the magnesium sulfate. Alrighty, so I got my first bucket here, and I just use this cork thing to scoop all my fertilizers out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 4 ounces in these sales, just a fungus it's a insecticide we use in the orchard. I'm gonna go ahead and do 4 ounces of master blend tomato formula 4-18-38. So this is 4 ounces there. This is weighed out perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and dump the first one in there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get 4 ounces of calcium nitrate. So this is my calcium nitrate right here. It's like greenhouse grade. It's all water grade or whatever. It dissolves in water. But right here, it's a 15.500. So it is total nitrogen, 15%, and then of course 19% calcium. So yeah, calcium nitrate right here. So one of the biggest things right here is you don't want to mix your master blend with your calcium nitrate at a very high dosage, just because it creates a lot of, it clumps up and then it clogs your entire system up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 4 ounces of the master calcium nitrate here. Make sure that's full there. 4 ounces, there you go. Calcium nitrate. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 ounces of Epsom salt. So this is a smaller container I bought. I'm waiting for my bigger 50-pound bag of calcium nitrate to show up, of magnesium sulfate. So Epsom salt, that's all it is. This is plant-based Epsom salt. Bought off of Amazon, real cheap, because I forgot to pick up one of my big bags at the supplier. But it's just Epsom salt, and it's magnesium sulfate, that's all it is. And then in this right here, in the calcium nitrate bucket, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up 2 ounces here of magnesium sulfate with the calcium nitrate. So it's Epsom salt plus calcium nitrate there. I'm gonna go ahead and mix these two together here. I need to go buy one of those paint mixers to you know, get it all nice and mixed up. And then I'm also gonna mix here in a different bucket the tomato formula, the high potassium, or the 4-18-38. Alrighty, so out here in the tank, so I'm gonna go ahead and we have a 3rd horsepower pump here that we use. So there's a sub pump here. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and just kind of mix these nutrients here together. So do that here. I put you guys there on the wall, and it pumps up some pretty good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the calcium nitrate and then the Epsom salt or the magnesium sulfate in here. Let that blend in together, get all the bottom stuff there mixed up. Do that real nice till that dissolves, and just keep it mixed there. And one thing you gotta keep in mind, like I said, if you mix these at too high concentration, the EC is too great, and then it just gunks up your entire system. And that's why you have to make it in a bigger barrel. And what I was doing last year, I was running the fertilizers through the dosatron there, but then I realized it was taking a lot more time, and I wasn't as precise, and I wasn't mixing the chemicals as needed, and it was just a bigger mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it in the barrel this year and seeing how this is turning out. So far it's been working real good to get the same amount of dosage inside the plant at the same time. So you kind of tell whenever this gets done dissolving. I mean, if I had a paint mixer, it'd be a lot easier to dissolve this because I just swoosh in the bucket there. But that's it. I let that dissolve there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the 4 ounces of master blend, and just do that right there. Let it mix up nice together there. You should get clean stuff off the bottom, get all the fertilizer in there, and let this run mixture for a while. A while, I mean like a couple minutes. And then once it mixes up nicely there, go ahead and turn the whole entire irrigation system. Okay, so once that is nice and neat mixture in there, I just go ahead and connect to the header line there. Make sure you have a filter to filter out anything so you won't clog up your drip irrigation system. Then just let that run. And with the amount of pressure I have in the irrigation system, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to empty out there. Then I just go ahead and run clear water to empty out all the lines there, flush them out. And this fertilizer program has been working pretty nice here lately, so can't complain. Getting a lot of growth, getting a lot of vigor. So yep. So you can see there it's been on for half a minute here and it's already emptying out pretty quick there. Just let that run. And you know, I run this on the whole tunnel at a time, so I got 7 lines in here running the irrigation system, and all the lines get the entire thing. And I come through here and inspect the plants pretty healthily and pretty often to see how they're doing, how they're liking it, and if I need to add some little more extra tough stuff to it if I don't. So yeah, so can't complain. You can tell here with that pressure pump there, the line doesn't get too tight there or too tough to blow up there. So I got 6-inch emitters on my drip tape here, so every 6 inches there's an emitter. Drop some nice water here. That's it. So Isaac and I have to go cut wood here for tonight, but like I said, if you want to grow tomatoes early, you better either have a lot of wood handy or get you a propane heater just like this one right here. So this one does 250,000 BTUs per hour and works wonders. I mean, it keeps this temperature in here pretty good, pretty high, so you can't beat it. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video because I'm gonna come through here and stake these tomatoes up here. And this past week I went up to one of my friends up in Kansas City, Missouri, and he's actually in he's out of Kansas City in the Kansas area, so I drove out of state, you know, so it's but anyways, I saw how he does his tomatoes in his tunnels, and I'm gonna try it in our tunnels this year. And he showed me the exact system that he does. So in a 30 by 96, he fits in 8 rows in tomatoes instead of 7. And I'm gonna explain how that happens whenever we do our next tunnels, because I want to do that. And another thing that I learned is how he stakes his tomatoes, and I'm gonna make a complete video on that tomorrow whenever I get around to it, because it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow outside, so I'll be working in here all day. But make sure to stay tuned for a video on that as well. So yeah, it's pretty exciting, and that's why it's really good to have you know, people in the same, or farmers or friends in the same industry as you, just because, you know, you go to someone's farm, you take a couple ideas, you teach them some stuff, you know, you steal some ideas from them and whatnot, and then you just try to make your farm as efficient and as good as possible. So alrighty, so now it's just getting down to about nothing, and I'm gonna go ahead and once it's done there, plug it back in the hydrant and let it clear out the lines, because I don't like leaving any kind of fertilizer inside the lines, because if it gunks up or anything, then you'll have any issues down the line there. But Go ahead and unplug this and connect it back. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that run here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the timer like on 5 minutes there. And these hoses are kind of trash. Anyway, this gonna just go on the ground, not a big deal, but that's it. That's the entire, I do have a pressure regulator on that. So that's my 12 PSI pressure regulator and the filter. Alrighty, y'all, so that's exactly how we fertilize our tomatoes, especially here in the high tunnel. And one thing that I learned this past season, I was up at a produce auction talking to some other growers up there, and one of them told me that whenever the tomato plants get about 4 to 5 foot tall, and he there's a bunch of tomatoes on there, because whenever at that stage right before ripening, the tomato plants are just full of tomatoes. The plants are big, and a lot of times if you're not careful, the tomato plant actually stops growing and doesn't put on any more flower clusters, or just, there's not enough nitrogen. So he told me that he doubles his nitrogen on his tomatoes, early tomatoes. So I'm gonna play by the book, I guess, and I'm gonna go ahead and figure it out whenever that it comes around. But whenever they're about 8 tall here, and they're gonna be full of tomatoes on them in about a month or so, I'm gonna go ahead and double up that nitrogen. So instead of doing 4 ounces, I'm gonna do 8 ounces of calcium nitrate, and just do the regular old tomato formula and the magnesium sulfate. So, yep, that's the entire fertilizing program. Look how beautiful these tomato plants are looking here. So they're about knee high, not too bad. I'm a pretty tall boy, so that's about good 2 feet in the air there. So I gotta come through here and sucker them one more time, and pull off these suckers there. But we'll do that tomorrow whenever it's raining. So this is gonna be pretty much it for today. That's exactly how we fertilize our tomatoes. So I wanna say thanks for watching up to this point. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and smash that like button, guys, notify this video. Don't forget, hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified if I do upload a video. I wanna say thanks for watching up to this point. Y'all have a good day. We'll see you next time.